Hello, beautiful Earth Tribe. Welcome back to my channel, Sky Above, Earth Below. This is Renee, and you're watching a timeless collective reading for the new moon in Capricorn, December 2022. Happy Capricorn season, everyone. So, although the moon is currently in the sign of Capricorn, you don't need to have Capricorn anywhere in your chart for this reading to apply to you. This reading will be for all astrological signs collectively. Also, the energy captured at this new moon may be relevant now or any time in the future, whenever it resonates. So a big reason why I offer this reading is because I know how much it personally benefits me, and I'd like to share that with you. Staying in touch with the lunar cycles is a natural way to reconnect with yourself, your spirit, and to whatever you wish to manifest or release in your life. I personally connect deeply with the cycles of Mother Earth, the Sun, and the Moon, but the moon phases in particular offer a way to observe one's life more closely and ground manifestations practically and rhythmically. Many pre-Christian cultures operated by the moon cycles because of its tangibility to indicate the passing of time and to track which moon came with seasonal changes. Because of the moon's orbit and proximity to Earth, the lunar cycles offer us a sense of perceivable time from which to observe our lives more closely, in roughly 2-week increments, as opposed to the sun, which offers us a broader view, allowing us to see the big picture of our lives by observing a year at a time or annual cycles. So, with the moon phases, we can break up our plans and goals into small, doable, foreseeable chunks of time and be more attuned to the seasons, as well as our own natural cycles and rhythms. The energy of the new and full moons is strongest up to 3 days before and after each event, so there's roughly a week to connect with the moon. It may also be enlightening to monitor your manifestations using 6-month chunks of time, and you can do this by noting the sign that a new moon is in, and then seeing what has come to fruition 6 months later by the full moon in that same sign. So when working with the lunar cycles, know that the energies of the new and full moons, as well as the waxing and waning phases, can be harnessed toward your goals and intentions. At the new moon, which is where we're at now, we recognize the beginning of a lunar cycle, so this is a powerful time to set new intentions. You can write, speak, or visualize your intentions. You can use them in ritual or spell work, or set them in any number of ways that feels meaningful to you. I do feel, though, that the most effective moon ritual is simply one that's done from your heart and done so regularly, so like at every new moon, or every full moon, or both. Rhythm is energy, and keeping a regular ritual strengthens and maintains this energy flow toward your intentions. Also, always remember that thoughts and words are spells, whether you're fully conscious of them or not. Energy sent out is energy returned, so be sure whatever you're putting out into the universe is energetically what you'd like to receive back. If you'd like to continue following the lunar cycles, please join me here every new and full moons for a collective energy check. You can also view my playlist of lunar cycle readings whenever you wish, as they are all timeless. Okay, so what do we have to look forward to for this new moon in Capricorn? What energy is the new moon bringing to the collective? That is the reading for today. Up next is the Meditative Shuffle and then the reading to follow. You can watch them both or navigate as you wish using the timestamps below. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll see you at your reading. Hello everyone, welcome to this reading for the new moon in Capricorn, December 2022. Thank you so much for joining me. Okay, collective. What I'm seeing overall is that there is something that you're wanting to pursue. Whether that be something work or career related, whether that be related to a love interest, whether that be anything, even a change in direction, moving in a path that you want to, exploring something else. Okay, it can be anything, but it's something that requires you to pursue. It requires you to actively move towards something while simultaneously releasing what is holding you back from doing so. So in this spread, I'm going to start with the fundamentals because a lot of these cards are interconnected. It's really showing me the big picture of what's going on. And the first part, collective, is that there is sort of a lack of acceptance for what is. There's something in your life that's happening, some kind of environment or situation, or even potentially something you've moved away from, but it hasn't quite fully left, if that makes sense. It's not quite fully gone yet. There's something lingering about it. But somewhere in that scenario, whatever your scenario is, because this is a general reading, there's a lack of acceptance for that situation. And that makes it really difficult to move on to something new, because it sort of fragments your energy. It leaves part of your energy in the past while other parts are wanting to move forward, but you need to move forward with your full intention, with your full energy. So with the Ace of Swords and the Acceptance card, Ace of Swords is about truth. Truth of what is. Truth of the matter. It's acceptance. I feel that whatever it is that you're needing to sort of come to terms with possibly might have to do with your stability. It may have to do with home life. It could have to do with a relationship or a marriage even. So there's something about the situation, 3333 on the computer. There's something about the situation that is difficult for you, okay? We've got back the deck energy, Three of Swords. So, for those of you who resonate with more of a work-related direction, the Three of Swords isn't always about heartbreak and love. It can be shattered dreams, right? So it can represent a lot of difficult emotions about whatever it is that you're having trouble with. So I just want to reiterate that, to move forward, we do need to reconcile the past. In some way, shape, or form, there has to be a decision. The Lover's card is about a choice. It's about a conscious choice to move beyond what was to enter into the new. Six of Swords is also along that same lines. You're moving on from something. You're moving on from, choppy waters to calmer waters. You've left or you're leaving. So you've made a conscious choice to go from one place to another. Here with the Great Severing card, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So this could be very telling to kind of the mental and emotional state you've been in. You may have had bouts of anger, frustration. You may have felt fiery about things. There may be conflict happening within you, if not without you. Oftentimes, the outside is a reflection of what's going on the inside. There's anger involved, and I'm hearing resentment as well. So with fire, as we know, we put out fire with water. And water is about emotions. Water is about softening to love. And whatever you're moving on from, or whatever you are wanting to grow from or leave in the past so that you can pursue this new thing, the softening to love, it needs to happen within you, like for yourself. It needs to happen for you. We can't really move into anything truthfully and authentically without being truthful and authentic to ourselves. And this means bringing love to ourselves, having compassion for ourselves, holding space for ourselves when we do find ourselves in these bouts of anger, frustration, resentment, which are natural emotions. We don't need to beat ourselves up for having emotions. That's a natural human experience. It's when those emotions disrupt our lives in some way, from keeping us from being successful or pursuing the things we want to pursue, or keeping us from being the person we want to be. So if you're in an environment, this is all about, Mars environment is about, Mars is represented by Aries, which is the god of war. Okay, it's the red planet. Red is the color of anger. It's also the color of the root chakra, which is about safety, security, being grounded. So when you find yourself in this red energy, and I'm seeing a lot of red here. We've got the red in her scarf, the red of the planet Mars. We've got the red in the back of the Lover's card. We also have a lot of red here in this spiral of the Ace of Swords. This red, Three of Swords. So I feel like there needs to be some space made for the processing of this intense anger or frustration or resentment. Okay, the other thing I'm seeing here is the masculine card. So Aries is also about the masculine because it's forward moving. It is a pursuer. It's the fiery god of war. Okay, but the masculine in particular is a pursuer. The masculine energy is about doing, forward movement, taking action. And with the number 42 breaking down to a 6, this is telling me that there may need to be some balancing of the masculine. And that could mean taking a look at the kind of masculine within you, whether or not you're a man or a woman, the kind of masculine that you embody. Is it a healthy masculinity? But in order to pursue whatever it is that you are wanting to go toward, the masculine energy is required. The paradox here is that if you're going to move into the future toward the path you want, with your full presence, your full intention, then there needs to be a releasing of the past so that you can move forward in wholeness. And doing that requires the feminine energy. You need to have faith in the unknown. You need to be open to receive whatever it is that you're pursuing that you may be doing so right now out of fear. There needs to be a shift from fear to faith. When we find ourselves in the Six of Swords energy, when we are consciously leaving one place for another, tumultuous waters for safe shores, or rocky waters for calmer waters, we're doing so because we know whatever the future has to offer, it's better than what we're leaving. And so when we step foot in the boat, we do so with faith. We do so with faith in ourselves, with faith in the future, and in the dream that we hold for our future. I'm feeling called to say that you don't need to be fully healed to make your way toward your desired path, to pursue whatever it is you want to go towards. No one is ever fully healed. And when you get to the shore, to the calmer place, you can heal then. You can also heal along the way. But there needs to be an acceptance of those wounds, perhaps of what caused them. And just that in itself can shift the energy within you in order to be able to step your foot on that boat. The Seven of Swords energy next to the Ace of Swords, it's showing me that there is some kind of unpleasant circumstances that you find yourself in, where there are untrustworthy people around you, where there is gossip, lies, betrayal. You are being guided out of this situation. Okay, and it's going to be up to you to really tap into it, to discern with the information you're being provided by the universe when you're being guided, because you will feel that whatever direction you're taking is leading you to peace, is leading you to a fulfillment of your soul, to your greatest happiness. Okay, and sometimes when we're in an environment of chaos, conflict, unrest, it's hard to connect with our intuition. We have to do it really mindfully, and we have to find moments of peace so that we can really hear the universe speaking through us. you are being guided out of the situation. And with the Seven of Swords, that's your acute discernment. It's your strategy. It's your ability to be strategic, to get yourself out of a difficult situation in the best way possible. Okay, now I'd like to talk about what you're pursuing. On to this card, Dove Medicine. It says, "Thy wings are thick and strong, I see, for they have battled the most unforgiving winds. Be proud, be free, my child. Go on, soar like never be." So some of you, maybe you're not quite sure of how strong you are, how resilient you are. You might be wavering in your trust of self. This card is here to remind you that you are prepared. You are ready. You can have faith in yourself. Because you're not alone. You're being guided. We are never truly alone. We have spiritual support around us at all times. It's just a matter of us tapping into it, being connected to it, nurturing that connection through our intuition. Having faith in something greater than ourselves. And I think for this group that you do. You do have that faith in yourself. You do have a connection with something greater than yourself. And I know that here because you are claircognizant. So you're receiving messages as thoughts, and you may not be understanding that these thoughts are actually messages from your gods, your guides, your angels, your ancestors, whatever you feel that you're connected to. So part of our intuition development is really understanding what thoughts are yours and what thoughts are guidance. What thoughts are coming from outside of ourselves. There's another level of discernment, which is discerning of those thoughts which are coming from outside of ourselves. Where are they coming from? So there's a couple layers here that are both really important, but that comes with practice. It comes in being really, truly aligned with yourself, with your heart, with your soul. Because that's how you're going to know if a message is right for you or not. We don't just follow any thought that comes to our mind. It needs to be right for us. It needs to ring true with us. It needs to resonate. So in this way, we are collaborating with the universe. By knowing ourselves, knowing what we want, what we need, what we think, how we feel, and using that knowledge about ourselves to align with messages that we get from the universe. And this is how we can use those messages as guidance. As far as who the messages are coming from, the simplest way I can describe this is whether or not that message gives you a feeling of fear or love, high vibration or low vibration. Expansion or contraction. Okay. Part of this liminal space that I feel that you are in, there's a healing that needs to happen. And it involves healing who we are at the core level. It involves accepting who we are at the core level. So, who are we at the core level? How do we know ourselves at the core level? This is where the inner child comes in. Here we have the golden children. Inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. So a lot of times shadow work or healing ourselves at the mental, emotional, spiritual levels, this really does involve with getting in touch with our inner child. When we are children, we are so tapped in. We are connecting all the time, 1111 on the computer. We're connecting all the time with the universe. This is why children are so imaginative. This is why, as they grow older, parents want to kick that imagination out, get them to enter the so-called real world by losing that imaginary friend, losing that dreamscape, losing the connection they have with their deceased grandparents, with aliens they see, with past pets. And this is how we get removed from our essence. A child is closer to incarnation, closer to the spirit level than we are as adults. Adults have been socialized, beat into submission, hypnotized, demoralized, and jaded. So it's really no wonder that when we do access that inner child, it's so incredibly healing. It makes us so incredibly happy. And while the so-called real world wants to demonize that inner child, it wants to keep someone out of their imagination, out of their hopes and dreams, away from being idealistic. It's really the best medicine for our healing. Of course, there needs to be balance, but one thing at a time, right? When we heal the inner child, we get in touch with it, we acknowledge it, we integrate it, we protect it. The severing, the great severing of our inner child came when we betrayed ourselves. Now, you need to know that I am not placing blame. This is just what happens. at some point in our childhood, we become fragmented, and that inner child gets stuffed way down into our subconscious, where we forever act out the hurt and wounds from that child until we become conscious of it. So, how can you heal any of this without first accepting it? And I would argue, how can you even accept it without knowing that it's there? Okay, so if you know that the wound is there, if you know that there's things causing conflict in your life stemming from feeling angry about things you may not even understand about yourself, this is a signal to know yourself. You can't accept anything without knowing who you are. So there's a level of knowing yourself, and like I said earlier, your wants, your needs, your thoughts, your emotions. And this is so you can direct yourself. These are all pieces of the puzzle. When we can get to a place of acceptance of what is, we can then make choices for ourselves. Correct choices based on who we are, based on what we know of ourselves, based on a more healed energy rather than secondary emotions like anger. So I really didn't mean to go off in this direction for so long, but I think that whoever's watching this needed to hear that. I'm going to come back to center now, and we're going to talk about what it is that you're trying to pursue. So I'm looking at this as like this teetering, like a teeter-totter. You know, you are in this middle space, this liminal space where there's this past, there's some anger or resentment or frustration of some kind, and yet you're pursuing or you're wanting to go toward a new direction. Having self-trust and faith in your direction, in the path forward, this is going to be something that you're going to want to bring along this journey with you. Because if you're having issues of feeling safe, feeling secure, feeling rooted in yourself, then you're going to want to have thoughts, perhaps mantras, things that you can say to yourself to direct you when it gets difficult. Because where you're headed is someplace that you're going to have to be authentic. You're going to have to be truthful with yourself. Because the world is going to see you here with the full moon in Aquarius. Where you're headed is a place of idealism. It is in alignment with your inner child. It is in alignment with your spirit. Where you're headed is with a strong, healthy, positive sense of masculinity. You're going to pursue with strength and courage whatever it is you're going toward. And I want to give you some encouragement here in the cards, at least, we're looking at that whatever you're working toward, the energy is gaining momentum. This is the waxing moon. So waxing moon time is the time between new moon and full moon. That means that you're building. You've planted seeds. You're working on your projects. You're working on your strategy toward wherever it is you're headed, whatever goal, whatever choice you've made. Like I said, this could be anything. This could be career, family, love. But the energy is gaining momentum. Whatever you're doing is working. Remember that we don't need to have it all figured out to get in the boat. Okay? Our process, our learning journey, our spiritual evolution is happening until we die. This isn't something where you have to be completely healed right now to make steps forward into your future. So you can take a breath and you can trust yourself. And anytime you feel anxious about your direction or you waver in your self-trust, know that you are right where you need to be, that your wings are thick and strong. On the back of the deck, we have the blossoming card, the master number 33. And earlier I said I saw the number 456. So that makes a lot of sense with the master number 33. This is a mastery of some kind. So I feel like wherever you're headed, it's big. Whatever your goals are, they are idealistic. They are spectacular. They are I mean, they are spot on with your soul expansion. They ring true with what you are at the core level. And in a sense, if you imagine yourself already there, which is great for manifestation, that visualization, really feeling as if you were already there. This is what's energetically going to pull you forward and expedite the process. So although this looks like an arduous journey, remember that you are co-creating and that your mindset has so much to do with this. Physically, we do need to make steps forward. We do need to take action, positive action, toward our desired future. But it begins in the mind. Thoughts become things. Anything in existence was first a thought. So we have to get our mind right. Whatever unacknowledged or unreleased emotions we may have buried inside, these things affect our thought processes. And that is why it's so important to do the healing work and to not expect everything all at once. Patience, diligence, these are things that are part of the process. And so, you have to be compassionate with yourself along the way, or you're just going to keep setting yourself back more. It's a really fine balance, but you're going to start to notice that when you're making these positive steps forward with faith in yourself, acceptance of what is, alignment with your heart, with your higher self, with the universe, we get our thoughts aligned, and then this journey isn't so hard. When we're aligned, our vibration is higher. Things begin to happen more easily, more quickly, even miraculously. And this Show the World the Real You card, for me, what I'm getting from this is to really embody who you are, become strong in who you are, not in who others expect you to be or who wish you would be, or even who you wish you were. You just need to be yourself. Aquarius energy is all about the individual self-expression, that idealistic, out-of-the-box thinking, showing up for yourself in an authentic way so that you're not betraying yourself. Okay, collective. So I'd like to leave this reading off on a little bit of a higher note because there really are some good things here, and I'm seeing 555 on the clock. So major change. Okay, back of the deck. Have faith in your dreams. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in your path. Remember, you are being guided. You're co-creating. You're not alone. Remember that this is a journey, and have compassion with yourself along the way. But whatever you're doing, it's working. The energy is gaining momentum. This is you bringing to fruition whatever it is that you're headed towards. Whatever you're pursuing, whatever choice you've made. Your path, because it's divinely guided, with 4, 5, 6 on this reading, you are being asked literally to step up in this higher version of yourself, to come into your full authenticity, and to not be afraid of your greatness. Don't be afraid of your greatness. Okay, collective, so that is your reading for the new moon in Capricorn. If this resonated, I'd love to know in the comments. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to support my channel, and hit the bell for all notifications if you'd like to be notified of my future videos. If you're interested in booking a reading with me, my information is in the description box below, as well as links to donate and to all the decks I used in this reading. May the power of this new moon bring about all that is in your heart, and may you all have a beautiful day from wherever in the world you're watching. I'm sending you all grounding energy and love. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you at my next reading.